Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Something Cafe podcast. I am your host, Celestino Dooley. It is welcome to episode 42. 42 of the of the Something Cafe podcast. My voice is shot. My voice is shot, and I went to a Halloween party last night. You know, Papa had a couple drinky poos and 4 Angry Orchards, 4 Mike's Hard Lemonades, and 3 shots of Jameson later. And I am snuggling with a tree, dressed up as a monkey. So I had a pretty good night. Played the drums for 2 hours, and then watched videos of baby pandas for about 30 minutes. So yeah, I had a pretty good night last night. I actually had a pretty good Halloween. So Halloween night was a Thursday, so it didn't really get a whole lot done. But not that it, it's like you can't really do anything. Right, and I already knew because I knew I had the party Saturday, and then I knew, Friday night I was DJing a Halloween party at a kava bar, so I knew that, I kind of knew like I don't really need to do anything. I don't really need to do anything for the actual Halloween night. I've got work the next day. But yeah. The Halloween event went really well. I really enjoyed that. I wore the same costume for both parties. I've had this same monkey onesie for the last 6 years, and for the last 6 Halloweens, that's what I've been sporting, costume wise, and it was a really fun party to DJ. I had a lot of people come up to me afterwards saying that they really enjoyed my set, that I did a really good job. But a weird thing happened that night. So the cafe's got two TVs, and on one TV, I think it was like Dahmer was playing. But then on the other TV was this movie I've never heard of or seen. But as I'm DJing, that is all I'm focusing on. It was this movie about this Spanish-speaking woman, and she's trapped in a shipping container, and she's pregnant. And the shipping container is in the middle of the sea. And I mean, it was just... I literally was not the same that entire night. Like, I literally could not take my eyes off of that movie. I was just reading subtitles, right? Like, I was just reading subtitles and just wow. That movie was something else. And it just put me in some kind of mood for the rest of the night. It kind of messed me up, kind of put me in a mood for the rest of the night, dude. It was just a very intense, real, just wow. I mean, it was so. I didn't get to watch it from the start. I probably caught it like halfway through. So I don't know how she ended up on the shipping container, but uh, when I first started watching it, she was pregnant in the shipping container, and she's trying to figure out how to make stuff and like what on earth she's gonna do. And she's got all, it's like a total survivor flick, which are my favorite kinds of movies. Survivor, not disaster movies. Those are fun, Emmerich. Those are fun, but I enjoy survival movies much more. Just like how I enjoy survival games a lot. Um, but so like she ends up giving birth, and it's super painful, and the baby comes out, and she, and she's starting to go kind of manic, and she ends up eating her placenta raw, because she's completely out of food. And yeah, she eats her placenta like a caveman. And and uh she starts getting smarter and kind of like more rugged, and like, all right, time to bunker down. So she's, she's trying to get the top open, and there's all these like holes that almost look like bullet holes, and she finally finds a way to pry it open. And uh and she finally gets out on top. So then she starts, like she makes a net by pulling out all the threads from like clothing, because this is like an Amazon shipping container, so it's got a bunch of, she's trapped with like 500 Tupperwares and uh clothes, and and Snickers and stuff like that. um but she ends up catching fish, and she's eating the fish raw. And then, yeah, dude, it was and then she gashes her leg on on the rough edge of like the hole that she had cut through. Just gashes it, and she has this like bottle of like tequila, and she just pours it all over the gash. Oh man, the acting was so good. It was incredible. Oh man, it was. And then she ends up making a suture out of thread and a piece from a motherboard as the needle, which, as a guy who works with sutures every day, not the most realistic, but I guess it'll do. Oh, even thinking about it now, it's, ooh, oh, it was so good of a movie. Oh man, gosh, it was so nasty, but it was so good. And she totally, and there's like holes in the side of the shipping container too, so she's marking where the water is every day, and it's getting higher and higher. And as she notices it's starting to get filled up more, um she makes this little raft out of the Tupperwares and stuff, that she puts her baby in. And wow, dude, it's just. And then for the rest of the night, I just did not feel that good. I guess I was just really, I guess I was just really processing what I just saw as I'm DJing, playing Miss New Booty by Bubba Sparks. You know, um, yeah, wow, dude, I have to find the name of that movie, um, because that was incredible. Um, well, yeah, it's okay. So then I had the party that I went to last night, and it was really fun. I was really anxious at first because I haven't been to I haven't been to a party in a long time. But it was really fun. I made a lot of friends. I made friends with everybody there actually. Um, they all really seemed to like me. I also watched another movie that night halfway through. I wasn't there for when it started, but I got to watch Edward Scissorhands, which I want to actually watch from the beginning because it looks really interesting. I really enjoyed what I did get to see. Um, because I enjoy stories like that. You know, from kind of what I saw, because I probably started watching it halfway through and then someone turned it off to play something else, which kind of sucked. I was like, oh, come on, dude. I was watching that. Um, but kind of from what I saw, it was a really cool play on the whole born different trope, because the set and the setting of the town and everything is like very I mean it I almost thought it was Dr. Seuss's Cat in the Hat, just because of how just like all of the houses are bright colors, and everyone is like wearing the same kind of retro dresses, and the men are outside in the lawn, watching the ball game and trimming the hedges and stuff. And then you have Edward, who has scissor hands, and he's like all disheveled. He's got his hair all messed up. He's got scars all over his face. I really enjoyed it because, um, like the family that he was a part of, you know, a lot of people make those films, but it's like everyone is against him or her. And in this one, it was nice to see that it was like, oh, like, okay, so Senior Scissorhands is like has this family that actually likes and cares for him and like defends him, and then all of these like women, all these older women who apparently are in heat, uh, start like really liking him and like wanting to have him for their own, and oh, cut my hedges, Edward. And it was very, very sexual. um Really, really weird to be turned on by a guy trimming your front yard hedge into the shape of a dinosaur nugget. um but to each her own. um yeah, it was really interesting. I kind of want to watch that one too. I really enjoyed that. Plus, I want to know where he came from. Like, what's the story? Because I've heard so many people in my life say, "Oh, that Edward Scissorhands movie's freaking stupid. It's dumb, blah blah blah." But I don't know. Not everyone is right. You like don't. I'm a big believer in not settling on an opinion because someone else. Not, I'm a big believer in not settling on an opinion because you heard it from someone else. You know, consume whatever they're talking about, whether it be a food, a restaurant, a movie, a show, a video game, a song, whatever, and then make your own opinion. Because a lot of things in my life, people have said, "Oh, don't look, don't see that, don't play that, it's stupid, blah blah blah." But then I end up playing it or watching it. I'm like, that was awesome, Um, so yeah, yeah, really, really, really interesting. And then I ended up, well, what did I do next? Yeah, I was watching that, um, cracking open some mics, and then there were some musicians there, so they were playing music and stuff that was really cool. I joined in, and we danced. I talked to this girl for like 30 minutes outside, and uh, couldn't tell if she was into me or not, but she was like she was enjoying our conversation more than any other person would enjoy our what we were talking about, which was just work and like, what do you do? Um, but she seemed really, really into it. So, um, we'll see. She asked for my Instagram, so we'll see. And then that's when I ended up snuggling with the tree. Um, and then for the next 2 hours, I just ate ice cubes. So pretty good night. Got a bit of a stuffy nose. I got to bed at around 4 o'clock. I think last night was daylight savings time. I don't really know. I woke up and my clock was wrong, so I'm glad that happened. You know, not during the work week. I'm glad that happened. You know, on the weekend. Um, but yeah, other than that, I had a pretty good weekend. Um, in other news, Tyler the Creator dropped a new album, Chromacopia, and I listened to it, and you know what, man, I've never been a Tyler the Creator fan. I really haven't. I really haven't. No, I I don't really care for that kind of hip hop. It sounds good. It's got good music, but I don't care for that kind of that kind of hip hop. And I've tried, like I've listened to all of Tyler's albums. Just not that big of a fan. Not that big of a fan. He's a great storyteller, and he's definitely a word painter. Like he in his music, he has a lot to say, and you know every other phrase is said differently, and he's very creative, and there's a lot of emotion, and it's telling a story, and I just don't care for that kind of music. I guess I should say that instead. I don't care for that kind of music. I shouldn't say I don't care for that kind of hip hop, because it's, yeah. But I tried, when I was DJing, um uh oh my gosh, the thing with DJing is, um I take requests, but you have to understand, to take a request while I'm in the middle of my set, to actually load up the song, like to actually get and load up the song into the turntable. I have to open up. I have to, and this again, this is all while I'm DJing. I have to go to Spotify, find the song. As I'm trying to hear the person over the music, I have to go to Spotify, find the song, copy the link, go over to Google, go to this website that I use to download songs to MP3. I paste in there. It loads. I wait for it to load. It loads up. I download it. Then I move it from my downloads folder into my SSD. And once it's in my SSD, I have to go back to the DJing software, refresh it, which doesn't stop the music. I just have to like go into a new part of it and then go back so it's refreshed, and then the song's there. And that's a lot of work for one song while I'm trying to work. Um, so it's really got to be a song. Like if one of my closer friends asks for something, I'll typically do it, because they know me enough to know that they wouldn't waste my time with a bad song, or just a song that doesn't fit the vibe. Like I'll be, last night was very, you know, um heavier hip hop, heavier dance music, or I should say last night, heavier hip hop, heavier dance music, very dark. It's a Halloween party. I'm trying to make some of these people move, which some of them were were some of them were very much moving. And someone will come up to me and be like, "Oh, can you play Ice Spice Shoe? You are in front of me, and I would like you not to be." I no, absolutely not. Um, but I'm like, I tell them yes. Oh, okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. So for any of you out there who want to request a song from any DJ, first of all, don't. I would recommend that you just don't, because the DJ always typically the DJ always has a plan for the night. Like I had a plan. I spent time like making the playlist for that night, curating the set, you know, curating the set, curating the list, picking songs that I know are going to be good, and putting them in an order. That's the work that needs to be done prior to the event. And then you come up to me and request a song, which isn't the end of the world. Like I said, I take requests. But if it's the polite thing to do from my side. It's the polite thing to do to just say, okay, yeah. And if you go back to your seat and you realize you haven't heard the song that you requested, let's say like 5-10 minutes has passed and you haven't heard the song that you requested, take a hint. Take a hint. It's nothing about you. I don't want to put in the work to get that song ready because it either doesn't match the vibe, or I don't want to, or I just don't like the song, or I'm getting ready for something. Oh my gosh, there's this guy. He he probably won't hear this. You know, he's one of those guys who is who is never not high. He is always high. And those people, if you are around these people, you'll understand. You just want like it comes to a point where all you want to do is hit them. That's all. All you, all you want to do is hit them. Like, it is so annoying. He'll come up to me, and this is like every night that he sees me DJing. He'll do this. He'll come up to me and get way too close because I've got a lot of, depending on the space, I've got a lot of cables. You know, uh, I've got a lot of cables tight roped around the table, cords, cables, microphones, loose stuff, nothing's bolted down, dude. So like I've got my computer charger. Maybe the outlet is like by my head on the wall, so like the computer charger cord is like at my is like from the wall to my computer is like in the air, like by my chest. So to get behind the table, you have to duck, and just like cables, right? So I don't like people getting close, first of all, because I've got stuff. Okay. Second of all, um, I'm even though it's DJing, I'm actively trying to work, and I'm not saying don't ever go up and like talk to people who are, I don't know, like I can talk to people, but I'm not looking to drop a little therapy session. And he'll just come up to me and just get so close and like dap me up and like, oh, and just talk to me and like, oh, dude, play this song, man. And goes, oh, oh my gosh, dude. It is every night that he's there. It's every night. It's every night, dude. And I'm just like, okay, dude. And then last night he was like, dude, please play this song, man. You know, play this song. And he didn't even show it to me. He just said it, so I obviously didn't hear it. But me doing the polite thing, other than actually playing this song, you know, don't don't be don't be mean, you know. So I'm like, yeah, okay, dude, yeah, cool. You know, just trying to humor him. Okay, yeah, man. Okay, well, yeah, cool. He goes away. 5 minutes later, he comes back up. Dude, where's the song, man? Ha 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 ha. Where's the song? Oh my gosh. Oh, dude. It is my least favorite part about the job. And I'm just thinking, like, dude, it's been 15 minutes. If I haven't played it yet, it's probably because I'm not gonna. It's probably because don't want to. And the more you keep asking me, the less I'm gonna want to hear you at all. And he comes back up, and he comes back up, and I'm not kidding. He probably came up he probably came up to my table like eight times last night. And he's like, dude, what the heck, man? Where's the song, dude? You said you're gonna play it, man. Take a hint, dude. And it's cause he is gosh, he's such a loser. I'm sorry, dude, but he is always high. He is always high. It's like, dude, that's just not a good look. That's not someone I want to be around at all in any context. You want to know why? Because I already know that you have lost your ability to take things seriously. And that is very important to me. So, when I'm not playing your song after the fifth time you've asked me, sober up and take a hint, dude. So then at 10:30, we're doing a costume contest, and the managers texting me, "Hey, it's 10:25. Get this and that ready. Here's a little here's some dialogue I want you to say. You know, something like, all right, guys, time, you know, let's get ready for the costume contest. The winner gets this much and blah, 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 right? Just something like that. So I'm actively on my phone. I've got my right hand on my phone, the left hand on the DJ deck. As I'm on the DJ deck trying to get you know, he wants me to play Jeopardy music and you know, Thriller and stuff like that. So I'm getting that ready while I'm texting him. All right, man, you know, we're good, blah, blah. Stoner comes back up. Dude, again, he's like leaning on my table. He puts his cup on my table, which that is already like you're trying to get hit. You want me to hit you. You want me to hit you. You want to taste the skin on my fist by putting an open drink on my table. He might as well just put it on my he might as well just set the cup right on top of the laptop. He puts his open drink on the table, leans on the table, and then is like, "Hey, dude, what you said you would play this?" Oh, and I just looked at him and I said, "Dude, I've we got the costume contest at 10:30. I have to get ready for it." Okay, but after, it's people like this that make me think I have Tourette's for a reason. Because if I didn't stutter so much, I would have gone off on him. But I knew I was gonna stutter, so I just decided not to. But damn it, dude. Ugh. That was the real test from God, dude. That was, and he does this every night, but this was definitely the worst one. And I mean, hey, it the night went great. I just people like that, people who are high all the time and think it's like chill or like it's not that he thinks it's not that he thinks he's cool cuz he's high. He thinks people see him as like the cool chill, like down for whatever, hang out and freaking and have a good time, man. But you're not. You're just you're just an awkward conversation with legs. You are every you are everyone's nightmare in a so, in a s- in a s- in a social setting. A guy who wants to talk to everyone but can't. That's who you are. Oh, I can't stand it. That's why I just don't I just don't do weed, dude. I can't do weed. And I'm not saying do as in me do. I'm saying just being around it, you know. I had roommates who used to smoke absolute pounds of it, and classmates that used to smoke pounds of it, and you know it doesn't bother me to be around it in the sense of what it is. Like I'm not bothered by it because it's weed. I don't care what you do, just don't involve me and be safe. But it's just what it turns people into. Just absolute lazy losers. Look, I'm not saying this is everyone. In the past when I've had weed, I just end up, you know, on a couch. I don't. I'm not saying this is like I've got some really good friends who would get high occasionally, and we would still have a good time. But there's a good percentage of y'all brothers and sisters who really become just the worst. It just sucks. But yeah, man. Oh, I didn't even know Larry was sleeping down here. Hey, Larry. Hey, Bubba. For those of you who don't know, this is Larry. Say hi to Larry. Larry, say hi. Say hi. Who's a good? Who's a good boy? Simba. Simba. But yeah, going to the party last night really made me feel better. I feel a little bit better today, just in general, mentally. Uh, been having been having a couple rough weeks, guys. Been having a couple rough weeks, to be completely honest with you guys. Um, and don't really know what to do about it. I think I'm gonna start seeing my guy again. I have a therapist from home. Obviously we have to do Zoom, right? Um, but because at first I was holding out on him because I was like, oh, I want to find someone in person. It's a lot better. I feel more connected. But then, you get into analysis paralysis. If you don't know what that means, it's just you spend so much time. Oh, Larry, oh, he's so cute, so cute. He just spun in those couple circles and he's like all curled up like a little ball of fluff. I love my cat so much. Larry, Larry's. Oh, hello, hello, Larry. Whereas Lars probably pooping on himself or something. Yeah, I was like, I don't want to. I want to find someone in person. I'm gonna feel more connected, but I got analysis paralysis, and I just spent instead of just doing it, I spent so much time just like trying to research and finding the right place and blah blah. When I'm just like, you know what, I've already got a dude who knows who's known me for the last 4 years, so I think I'm just gonna. I think I'll be fine. I'm probably just gonna stick with him and do it over Zoom. But yeah, I really should start seeing him again. Um, what's the strangest compliment I've ever received, and how did I react? Um, I was at school one day in college, and two extremely hot Moroccan sisters came up to me and started talking to me. And I had no idea who they were. We were there for an event, and they were twins from Morocco, just gorgeous, gorgeous women. And one of them said that I had a really nice nose and that she wished I had a nose like mine. Um, True story. Really, really kind of had to sit there and unpack that one. Didn't ask her why. I just said, "Well, thank you very much. I get a lot of compliments on my nose. I've never thought about my nose more than when I hit it on something, you know." Um, but she said I had a really nice nose, and I wanted to tell her, you could have a really nice future, which with this, our children could have this good of a nose if you actually want to commit. But I didn't say that. I probably ended up stuttering and thanked her. Um, trying not to, trying to just keep eye contact. Um, but yeah, I never thought about my nose. People said people have said when I was thinner, people said I have a good face. You know, I'm too fat right now, but when I'm not fat, I've got really good cheekbones. But I've never heard the nose compliment. I don't know what it is about my nose. I don't see it. I think my nose is subpar at absolute best. If your life had a theme song that played every time you walked into a room, what song would it be? Probably probably PIMP by 50 Cent. I think that just speaks for itself. If I were a kitchen appliance, what would I be and why? Probably a pot that you fill up with water, so when people ask why I'm so fat, I can tell them that it's honestly mostly water weight. This is a stupid question. What would you do if you woke up one morning and could only communicate through interpretive dance? Yeah, probably go and buy a gun. If you could merge two animals to create the ultimate pet, which animals would you pick and what would it look like? I'll take some creative liberties on this one. Probably like a squirrel and a Roomba, because squirrels are cute but they're messy. And if I merge it with a Roomba, it'll clean itself up, becoming the ultimate pet. What would it look like? It would look horrible, but I think it would be like a fluffy Roomba. Here's another stupid question. What would your strategy be if you were suddenly thrown into a world where everyone spoke in rhymes? I don't know, probably go watch 8 Mile 50 times, and I think I'd be good. If you could ask your pet, and I'll say pets in this case. If you could ask your pets one question and get an honest answer, what would you ask? Um, Probably ask Lars why he. I'd probably ask him why why does he have such large nipples for a male cat? And I'd probably ask Larry why what he's allergic to because he sneezes a lot, and maybe I could get him some Allegra or something. Here's a trick question. What's the most useless superpower you can imagine and how would you use it in daily life? Trick question, because if you really could think of the most useless superpower, then you couldn't use it in daily life. You almost got me there. If I could swap one of my hands for any object in the world, what would it be? Probably my right hand for another left hand, just so um people get really confused when they go in for a handshake, like a really bad magic trick. I think that would be kind of cool. If you could be any kind of machinery in the world, what would you be and why? Probably probably a mammogram machine. And do I need to say more? If you had to pick one smell to follow you around wherever you go, what would it be and why? Probably like a woodsy, earthy smell. Just so like women would think I just got done chopping trees, but really I just finished opening up packs of Pokemon cards. If I could make any animal the size of a car, what would you choose and what would you do with it? Probably something I can eat, so I could have like not infinite food, but like a good amount. Like probably something cool probably like a snow crab. Yeah, probably like a snow crab because I like crab. I've been watching a lot of crab videos recently on TikTok. Lots of crab videos. That would be kind of cool. Wow, the more you ask ChatGPT for open-ended questions, the less and less intelligent it becomes. It is pretty incredible. Imagine you're in a world where everyone can only speak in catchphrases. What would your go-to catchphrase be? I don't know. Cowabunga? I mean, that's a stupid question. What's a random skill you don't have but would totally dominate if it were in the Olympic sport? So I'm not gonna dominate either way because I don't have it. Bad question. Beckett, if you could give if you could give any animal a job, what would the animal be, and what job would it have? Both of my cats, taxes. What's a totally random fact that you love to share but rarely get the chance to? Um, the skin that makes up your lips is the exact same skin, the exact same type of skin and makeup as the skin that is at the absolute center edges of your butthole. If you were a host of a game show, what kind of ridiculous challenges would the contestants have to face? I actually have an answer for this one. I thought about this one the other week. You would get like 10 or 15 people sitting at a large circular table, all sitting around the table. Out of the 10 people, 9 of them have really bad diagnosis of Tourette syndrome, and only one other guy is actually who does not have Tourette syndrome, but is repeatedly getting tased under the table. And there's a couple contestants that have to figure out which is the one that does not have Tourette syndrome. They have to find which of the contestants is the one that's getting tased and does not have Tourette syndrome. I thought about that the other day. I don't know why I did, but I did. But yeah, guys, that'll probably do it for this week's episode. Feeling pretty tired. Again, I went to bed at 4 last night. But yeah, I just want to thank you guys for stopping by the Something Cafe. You can catch the show on all streaming platforms, YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, Amazon, and iHeartRadio. And go ahead and follow us on social medias. And if you haven't yet, rate us. I would appreciate if you gave us 5 stars. That helps the show out a lot. And I want to thank you guys for stopping by and grabbing a cup here at the Something Cafe.